Good morning, students. In our physical class, we have started the lesson The Trail. In that, we have completed almost 75% of the lesson. So, we'll be completing the remaining part of the lesson today. I hope you all will follow the lesson, and if you have any doubts, you can message me. The Trail. Couch on. It will not be done today if it is not necessary. Let there be an end of this. I will not have it said that we proceeded on forced confessions. We have sent our best preachers and doctors to this woman to exhort and implore her to save her soul and body from the fire. We shall not now send the executioner to thrust her into it. So, we all have seen that Joan was punished by the English people and they have presented her before the court. So, the conversation between Joan and the different prosecutors and the other persons was going on. So, one of them was Couchon. He was telling that it was not be done today if it is not necessary, and he is telling that let there be an end of this. So, I will not have it said that we proceeded on forced confessions, because she is not saying what the answer they want. She is telling how much she want to say. So he is telling that we can't proceed on forced confessions, and we have sent, he is telling that we have sent our best preachers and doctors to that woman to exhort or and implore her to save her soul and body from the fire. Means they'll be punishing her, no? So for that they have sent so many preachers and doctors to help her and sort out the issue. But we shall not now send the executioner to thrust her into it. So he's telling that from now we will not send any executioner. So as she is not answering the thing what they want. Then Corcels was telling, your lordship is merciful, of course, but it is a great responsibility to depart from the usual practice. So Corcels was telling, your lordship is merciful, of course, but it is a great responsibility to depart from the usual practice. So he's telling it is our responsibility to depart, means to depart from the usual practices, means he's telling that we should keep our usual practices what we follow. And he's telling that you are a very merciful, but it will be it is our great responsibility to keep away the usual practices. Then Joan said, thou art a rare noodle master, do what was done last time is thy rule. Then Joan was telling that thou art a rare noodle master, and she was telling what was done last time is thy rule, means whatever was done to her in the last time was your rule only. Then Corcel said, rising, thou wanton, thou dost thou dare call me noodle. So Corcels was telling that means he's telling her that how dare you to call me a noodle. Then the inquisitor, patience, master, patience. I fear you will soon be only too terribly avenged. Then the inquisitor said to Corcels, saying that as the Corcels was shouting on Joan, he was telling, patience, master, patience. I fear you will soon be only too terribly avenged. Then Corcels was telling, noodle indeed. He sits down much discontented. So even we also, if we get any if we get angry on anyone, or if they say anything to us, then with angry we will repeat the words what they were telling slowly in our mouth, and we will be sitting. Even the same the Corcels was doing. Then the inquisitor, meanwhile, let us not be moved by the rough side of a shepherd lass's tongue. Then the inquisitor said, within the time, let us not be moved by the rough side of the shepherd's last tongue. He is telling that means as they are diverted, getting diverted with the topic. So he is telling not will not be moved by the rough side of the shepherd's last tongue. Then Joan, nay, I am not shepherd lass, though I have helped with the sheep like anyone else. I will do a lady's work in the house, spin or weave against any woman in wrong. Then what did Joan was telling? I am not shepherd lass. And she is telling that I have helped with the sheep like anyone else, means no one has helped the sheep like me. And she is telling even I will do a lady's work in the house, means what she'll be doing, spine or weave. And she is telling against any woman in wrong. Then the inquisitor said, this is not a time for vanity, Joan. You stand in great peril. Then inquisitor was telling that it is not time for vanity. And he is telling that you stand in great peril. Then Joan, I know it. Have I not been punished for my vanity? If I had not worn my cloth of gold surcoat in battle like a fool, that Burgundian soldier would never have pulled me backwards off my horse, and I should not have been there. Then Joan was telling, I know, means she was telling that I know I have not been punished for my vanity. And she is telling that if I had not worn my gold of cloth surcoat in battle like a fool, means she was wearing a cloth of gold surcoat in the battle. So she is telling if I would have not worn it, the Burgundian soldier, she is telling that the soldier would never have pulled me backwards off my horse. Means in the battle when she is moving in on the horse, one of the soldier has caught her from the back and pulled her backwards from her horse, and I should not have been here. If that soldier have not done this, then I would have not been here. That is only because I was wearing a cloth of gold surcoat. So she was telling like that. Then the chaplain, if you are so clever at women's work, why do you not stay at home and do it? Then chaplain was telling, okay, as she was telling that she can do all the household works also. Then the chaplain was asking, if you are that much good at women's work, then why can't you stay at home and do the work? Then Joan was telling, there are plenty of other women to do it, but there is nobody to do my work. Then Joan said, to do that household work, there are so many women, but to do my work, no woman is there. Then Cauchon was telling, come, we are wasting time on trifles, Joan. Cauchon was telling, come on, we are wasting time on trifles. Means the unnecessary topics they were discussing and wasting their time. Then Joan said, I am going to put a most solemn question to you. Take care how you answer, for your life and salvation are at stake on it. Will you, for all you have said and done, be it good or bad, accept the judgment of God's church on earth, more especially as to the acts and words that are imputed to you in this trial by the promoter here? Will you submit your case to the inspired interpretation of the church militant? Then Joan was asking that she want to ask some question, means what is that most solemn question to him, and she is warning him that to take care how you will be answering. Means why? Because for your life and salvation are at stake on it. And she is asking, will you, for all you have said and done, be it good or bad, accept the judgment of God's church on earth. So she is asking him that whatever the things you have did, whether it may be good or bad, she is asking whether you will accept the judgment of God's church on earth. And most especially, she is asking as the acts and words that are imputed to you in this trial by the prompter here. And will you submit? And she is asking him that whether he will submit his case to the inspired interpretation of the church militant. Then what did he say? Again, see, Joan is asking, I am a faithful child of the church. I will obey the church. Then Joan was telling, I am a faithful child of the church and I will obey the church. Then Couchon, hopefully leaning forward, he was telling, you will, means Joan was telling that she will be obeying the orders of the church. So then Couchon was telling that you will. Then Joan, provided it does not command anything impossible. Then Joan said, providing it does not command anything impossible. Then Couchon sinks back in his church with a heavy sigh. The inquisitor purses his lips and frowns. Ladvenue shakes his head pitifully. So what is happening in the end of the trail is Couchon, after the conversation with Joan, Couchon sinks back, means he will sit in his chair with a heavy sigh, and the inquisitor purses his lips and frowns, and Ladvenue shakes his head pitifully. And this lesson was written by George Bernard Shaw. So this he who is the author of this lesson? He is George Bernard Shaw. And here, see, note has given at the age of 19 in 1431, she was tried for heresy and then burned at the stake as a witch. In 1909, she was beatified, and in 1920 canonized a saint. So this is the lesson I think you have understood. And here is about the author, about the dramatist. George Bernard Shaw was born on July 26, 1856 in Dublin, Ireland in the early 1900s. Shaw wrote several plays. These plays were about political themes and issues concerning poverty and women's rights. He wrote Man and Superman, John Bull's Other Island, and Major Barbara. In 1914, he wrote Saint John, which is considered to be one of his masterpieces. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1925. Shaw wrote over 50 plays during his literary career, right until the time of his death on November 2nd, 1950. Shaw remained committed to the socialistic cause. So, this is about the dramatist, and I think you all have understood the lesson. And if you have any doubts, you can message me. We'll be completing the remaining part of the lesson in the next session. Thank you. Have a good day.